up a bit. Hi. Sorry that took so long. I was I was getting my live 2D set up. Because I thought I could do this, but okay. Sorry. Let me just explain the situation real quick. So I was, you can see I'm like reading. I'm gonna read Hamlet, right? So I was like, okay, I have the entire like Shakespeare compendium, right? So I might as well. It's like a thick ass book. It's like the Bible, but it's like thicker. But it's like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it from the book, right? When I could read it from the website, and I was like, why would I read it from the website when I could just read from the book, right? And I forgot to take it into the account that this thick ass book might not fit on my on my setup. So now I don't know how to read this shit like this. Okay, I mean, yeah, I could just hold it up with my hands, but it's like it's thick. Okay, anyways, since I have gotten a book here. Hold on, let me just bookmark it real quick while I explain. Okay, so I have okay, so my initial thought for this stream was that I would rate every like BL like manhwa or manga that I've ever read, because during the past few days I literally like made a list. Like I made a list of like all the BLs that I've read, right? And so I thought I would like rate them, but I thought like, okay, yeah, I've been doing way too much bullshit for like way too long, and I need to do something anything for like this stream, and this is the only thing I could think of, because I keep on saying, oh, I wanted to read this, I wanted to read that, but I never do it. Okay, so if do you guys want to hear like my BL list? Like I can read it to you guys right now. Also, another drawback of me having to read from the book is that I have to open the light, which if you don't know, doesn't really work that well with my computer screen. Also, one more thing. Do you guys remember how I said that, I don't know if I said this, but I ordered Little Mushroom merch? Yeah, it said it's gonna be arriving today, so the delivery man's gonna be like knocking on my door. So and I'm gonna leave for a second, and you guys are gonna hear my dog bark. So yeah, that might happen, but hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping it arrives like soon, but during stream, I don't know. Okay, let me read out of them. Okay, these are not in order by when I read them. It's in order by what I remember. Okay, so let's go. We have Twisted Fate, A World Without You, Night of the Marked, Night Fragments, My Perfect Enemy is Finally Broke, Into the Thrill, My Ray of Light, Days, Sweet Desire, The Cold Lord God, Guiding Hazard, 16647, A Plot Twist, Crucial Point, Undercover Darling, Is It Because I'm Cute, Secretary to Stage, Mr. Dear, Beast of Desire, Fanfiction, Movie King Wants to Be My Financer, Sunset and Water, Stakeout, Civilian A, Redeem Only One Forever, Rainbow City, of course, Little Mushroom, Strive and Catastrophe, The Origin of Species, Jinx, Love Jinx, Roses and Champagne, Under the Green Light, Dangerous Convenience Store, Payback, Beta Testing, Miserable in Love, The Yandere Top Bother is Being Teased, Listen to Me, Black Lotus, The Villain Loves Me Very Much, I Have to Be a Great Villain, Heaven's Official Blessing, Painter of the Night, Obey Me, It's Not Like That, Ganto, Yours to Claim, Cherry Blossoms After Winter, A Guy Like You, Kiss Me Liar, K Secret, Guildmate Next Door, Angel Buddy, Who's Your Daddy, Sugar Rain, Red Candy, My Four Masters, Please Candy, Ways of Parting, Love Without Loss, My Egocentric Boss is Obsessed with Me, Monochrome Rumor, I Swear I'm Not a Scammer, Big Apple, Romance But Not Romantic, Heartbeat, Blaze Out, Don't Pick Up Boyfriends from the Trash, Nerd Project. Oh, Nerd Project's so good. Force Strategy 100%, My Ideal Type and I Are Dying. That was a comedy. Guiding. Did I already say Guiding Hazard? I think I put Guiding Hazard twice. Hold on. Did I put Guiding Hazard twice? Yeah, I did put Guiding Hazard twice. Okay, sorry. Guiding Hazard. Ah! Okay. Honey Trouble, Faxatia, Heart Racer. I Was Reborn as His Highness's Prince's evil little dragon. Love history caused by willful negligence. First call, the virgin surgeon is about to be married to a young yakuza. Ladies parfait time, cross line. My partner's taste and fetishes. You're the apple of my eye. Be watched by my ex again. Days of confrontation with scum attack, passion, codename Anastasia, puppy love, the other puppy love. Don't say you love me, the Charlotte Mermaid, personal tailor, Netkama punch. Lovely allergen, summer season, stay with me, sunshine shower, the substitute relationship, the grown dog bullies its owner, in my death I became my brother's regret, private lessons, in the deep, Forest Sea, 4-week lovers, vanilla taste, 9 to 9, raising beta, flip turn, December, may the breast brother win, the melancholic con man, taboo temptation, start seeing nightmares, Gentle Forest, Miscreants and Mayhem, How to Survive as a Player, Non-Refundable Alpha, Second Time of Dawn, Saturday's Master, Dedicated to the Arrogant You, How to Refuse His Route, Cherry Adult Scandal, You and I Can't Do This, Let's Skip the Handshake, the Director Who Buys Me Dinner, No Love Zone, The New Employee, Sees My Boyfriend Julian's Jinx, Rabbits Ejaculate After 3 Seconds, Unfair Love Affair, Be My Baby, Stop Bothering Me, Emperor, My House Has Become a Filming Location, Yunso's Good Day, Got Carrot, Formless, Love Strongly Surprise, Spring is near, Dear Teddy Bear, My Master, Monday's Savior, For You Who Grieves, Monster in the Mist, Aporia, 2020, No Moral, Payday, Mayday, 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 Flip the Script, Magician in a Course Live, I Learned XXX through fanfiction, My Cold Blood Beast, Bad Kid, Good Partner, Why Are You So Nice to Everyone Except Me, Punch Drunk Love, Did It Work, Sasaki Miano, Seducing the Top Boss, No Way, Vampires Don't Exist, Into the Horizon, Perfect Leash, Heaven in Succession, 100% Love, Got Stuck in My Sister's Dating Sim, My Sweet Dear, Don't Press the Button, I Became the Lies, Say Top, Chasing Mr. CEO, Speak of the Devil, Turn Off the Camera, Yarshin Bitch Club, Service Lover, Howling Under the Moonlight, Thundercloud Brainstorm, Love and Roll, Stand Be My Darling, June, Rapid Dog Breeding Rules, he's a top server in the server, but he can't heal, Special Guidance, Salty Lust, Report My Boss, Secretary Jin's Confinement Diary, Fall in Love with a Substitute, Gig of the Day, Color of the Night, Rocket Science Left, Solo for Two, Someone Like You, Trace of Margins, Crimean River, Dip of Love, Under the Legs, Secretary Gongo's Survival Diary, Rain, Private Call, Every Villain is Lemons, If You Ignore Me, I'll Be a Villain, Bloody Lies, Fake Romance, Limited Run, Red Mansion, I've gone viral thanks to my crush, Hair Rising Desires, Aesthetic Formula, Lip and Sword, My Bias Appear, Taming the Villain's Disciple After Rebirth, Divorced Actor Picking Up Garbage, Drunken Love, The X is My King, A Room Without Windows, Defense Mechanism, Boyfriends, Dream Like Lie, Overheat, My Brother's Sweetest Spots. Don't ask me why I read that, okay? Don't ask me why I read that. Unholy Night, Senior, Don't Pull Down My Skirt, The Male Cross-Dressers Didn't Get Proposed to Today, After I Left You, Save My Love, The Royal Princess First Love, Chongqing, My Darling Sign and Your Dream is Delicious, The Princess Mischievous One, Miss You, Conditions of a Guide, Everlasting Love, My Husband is Out of Control Again, A Divided Legacy, Starlight Scandal, Marigold Dilemmas, It Starts with Stalking, Secret Romance Between Us, Doc for Romance, Spilled Blood, Weather Forecast Killer, Link Between Relationships, At the End of the Road, Sweet Caress, Heal, 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 A Pacifist Star, A Full Cup of Water. Actually, I think that should be a half cup of water. No, I think it's a full cup of water. I Will Be Eaten, It's My Baby, Blood Sacrifice, Reality Lover, Placebo Memories, If It's Not Fate, Then What Is It? Mr. Vian is always unhappy, BB, The Titan's Bride, unfortunately, I have read it. Undercover Partners, Confession Night, Rain Advisory, Cloudburst, The Ideal Relationship, Manhattan Romance, You Give Me Shame, In Secret, 99.99% Lovers, Coasted Aways, I Got an Email from My Dead Lover, On to You, Dark Guardian, Backlight, May Belongs to Me, Define a Relationship, Reborn, Deceiving My Financial Backing Husband, Servant, The Servant/Employer, Delivery Complete Gossip, Come and Take, Cat's Suit, Dog's Tie, Frey, Pond with Flowers, Love the Buggy, Who's a Sweet Cheater, Omega Complex, Make Me Bark, Again is another one, okay, Sound of Spring Coming, Caligula no Koi, Shame Application, Erotic Toy Attack, A Man Who Gives It All, Don't Cry Someday, Give Me Back My John Woo, I'm Being Harassed by the Sexiest Man of the Year, I'm Coming, Overclock, Archipelago on the Sea Surface, My Damned XXX, Playboy repents and is reborn into a complicated relationship with 5 people. Lucky Housekeeper. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Yeah. So that's all the ones that I've read to like a significant amount. If I was to write down everything that I like checked out, then that would take way too long. Yeah? Okay. I think my favorite at the moment is Rainbow City, but like they don't have like good Rainbow City merch. It's like, I mean, obviously they have like acrylic stands for like Major Calic and like Dr. Seok's like birthdays, but it's like that shit's expensive. And like the fucking, oh jeez, what was I about to say? The shipping is like $60, so. Alright, so let me just give some background on Hamlet before I begin, okay? So, the main character's name is Hamlet, if you don't know. His father was just murdered, and we're at the beginning, so he's kind of in a bind right now. He's like, man, my father just died, and he's depressed, okay? And we're in Denmark, okay? The story takes place in Denmark. Hamlet is the prince of Denmark, whilst his father was the king of Denmark, okay? So Hamlet's mom is still alive, and Hamlet's uncle is still alive, and his uncle's gonna be taking over the Denmark, okay? So something else you gotta know is, so the castle which they live in, it goes by the name Elsinore, okay? So if you hear the name Elsinore, that's the name of the castle, okay? So we're at the beginning, right? So the beginning, Act 1, Scene 1, they're at the front gates, okay? And we're gonna be talking with 2 guards. And I believe Horatio's gonna be here as well. Yeah, okay. So Horatio is, in my opinion, the best character in Hamlet, okay? He's my favorite character of all time, and he's gonna be showing up. He's Hamlet's best friend who would never betray him, okay? And I'm not saying this sarcastically. He does not betray Hamlet in the play, okay? No, he's like a loyal friend, okay? And so we're starting off with 2 guards, right? And they're kind of tense right now. They're like, hey, why is everybody so tense? Okay? And they're gonna be asking Horatio why. Okay? So the 2 guards' name goes by Francisco and Bernardo, okay? They're not that significant, so I don't think you gotta remember their names. Just remember the guards, okay? So I think I'll be reading the names as I go. Wait, hold on. Should I read the names as I go? I could be like, Bernardo, who's there? Francisco, nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Or should I just go, who's there? Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. I think I'm gonna try like, oh jeez, cause you guys gotta know who's talking, right? And I'm the only one reading, so yeah, I think I'll read the names. Okay, let's go. Okay, so they're in front of the castle gates, yeah? Francisco enters his post. Enter to him, Bernardo. Okay. Wait, hold on, sorry, one more thing. Sorry. I added this just because today. This is my budget opera house, my opera house sort of stage, okay? And we're gonna be reading it here because it fits, okay? Don't judge me, okay? Let's go. Bernardo, who's there? Francisco, nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Bernardo, long live the king. Francisco, Bernardo, he. Francisco, you come most carefully upon your hour. Bernardo, 'tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco. Francisco, for this relief, much thanks to this bitter cold. And I am sick at heart. Bernardo, have you had quiet guard? Francisco, not a mouse stirring. Bernardo, well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste. Francisco, I think I hear them. Stand ho, who's there? Enter Horatio and Marcellus. Horatio, friends to this ground. Marcellus, and legiman to the Dane. Francisco, give you good night. Sorry, give you good night. Francisco. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no, sorry. Marcellus, oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who has thy relieved you? Francisco, Bernardo has my place. Give you good night. Exit. Marcellus, hola, Bernardo. Bernardo, say, what is Horatio there? Horatio, a piece of him. Bernardo, welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. Marcellus, what has this thing appeared again tonight? Bernardo, I have seen nothing. Marcellus, Horatio says 'tis our fantasy, and will not let us belief take hold of him. Touching this dreadful night twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of the night, that if again this apparition operation time comes, he may approve our eyes and speak to it. Horatio, tush, 'twill not appear. They're talking about the ghost, by the way, that's gonna appear. And Horatio's like, okay, there's no such thing. And they're like, but we've seen it, okay? Bernardo, sit down a while and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against their story, what we have 2 nights have seen. Horatio, well, sit we down and let us hear Bernardo speak of this. Bernardo, last night of all, when yon came stars that's westward from the pole, had made his course to illume that part of heaven where now burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one. Marcellus, peace, break thee off, look where it comes again. Enters ghost, armed. Bernardo, and the same figure, like the king that's dead. Marcellus, thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio. Bernardo, looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio. Horatio, most like. It howls me with fear and wonder. Bernardo, it would be spoke to. Marcellus, question it, Horatio. Horatio, what art thou that suppress this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, Archmage, thee speak! Marcellus, it is offended. Bernardo, see, it stalks away. Horatio, stay, speak! Speak, I charge thee, speak! Exits ghost. He basically just said the ghost looks like Hamlet's dead dad, okay. Which is the former king of Denmark. Marcellus, 'tis gone and will not answer. Bernardo, how's now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is it not something more than fantasy? What think you want? Horatio, before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true vouch of mine own eyes. Marcellus, is it not like the king? Horatio, as thou art thyself. Such was the very armor he had when the ambitious Norweg combated. So frowned he once in the angry parley, he smote the slitted poleaxe on the ice, 'tis strange. Marcellus, thus twice before, and jumped at this dead hour, with martial stock hath he gone by our watch. Horatio, in what particular thought to work, I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Marcellus, good now, sit down and tell me that he knows. Why in the same strict and most observant watch so nightly tolls on the subject of the land? And why such daily cast of brazen cannon, and the foreign mart of implements of war? Why such impressive war rites, whose sore task did not divide the Sunday from the week? What might be towards this sweaty haste, doth make the night join labor with the day? Who's that can inform me? Horatio, that I can. At least the whisper goes on, our last king, whose image even now but appeared to us, was, as you know, Fortinbras of Norway. There to prick on a most emulate pride, dare to combat in which our valiant Hamlet, or so the side to our unknown world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, whose by a sealed compact, well ratified by the law and I can't pronounce this word. Did forfeit with his life his lands, which he stood seized to the conqueror, which against the which of moiety competent was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras. He had been vanquisher, as by the same covenant and carriage of the article designed to fell to Hamlet. Now young Fortinbras, of unimproved meadow hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there struck up a list of lawless results for food and diet to some enterprise that hath a stomach in it which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover us by strong hand and term compulsory those foresaid lands so his father lost, and I take it, is the main motive of our preparations. The source of this watch, and the chief's head of this post-haste and roamage in the land. So basically he said that Hamlet's dad killed Fortinbras of Norway. So Fortinbras, I believe he was, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't remember if they have the same name. But Fortinbras is going to be a character in here, and he's going to be the Prince of Norway. And his dad has been killed by Hamlet's dad, and they took land from Norway. So Fortinbras wants revenge, and he's leading an army and coming to take back the land from Denmark. So that's why everybody is so tense and is like on watch. Bernardo: I think it be no other but seems so. Well, it may sort that this pretentious figure comes armed through our watch, so like the king, that was and is the question of these wars. Horatio: a mote is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and planing states of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tentless and sheeted dead, did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fires and dew of blood. Disastrous in the sun, and moist stars whose upon influence Neptune's empire stand, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even like the precurse of fierce events as harbingers preceding in the fates, and prologue to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climature and countrymen, sought behold, it comes again. Re-enters Ghost: I'll cross it, though it may blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may thee to ease and race to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to the country's fate, which happily foreknown might avoid, oh speak! Or if thou may hast uphoarded on thy life, extort treasure from the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits walk of the earth and the dead. Caca? I don't know, it just says the croak of crows. Speak of it, stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. Marcellus: shall I strike at it with my partisan? Horatio: do, if it will not stand. Bernardo: 'tis here. Horatio: 'tis here. Marcellus: 'tis gone. Ghost exits. We do it wrong, be it so majestical to offer it the show of violence, as it is in the ear invulnerable, and our veins blow malicious mockery. Bernardo: it was about to speak when the cock crew. Horatio: and then it started like a guilty thing. Upon the fearful summons I have heard the cock, that is trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in the sea or fire, or earth or air, the extravagant of erring spirits hies to his confines, and the truth herein in this present objects made probation. Marcellus: it faded on the croaking of the clock. Some may say that ever against the season comes wherein our Saviour birth is celebrated, and the birth of dawnings seemeth all night long, and then they say no spirit dares stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, there no planets strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hast thou so gracious at the time. Horatio: so I have heard, and do in part believe it. When the morn in russet mantle clad walks over the dew of yon high eastward hill, break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for upon my life the spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needed in our loves fitting our duty? Marcellus: let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. So they're gonna go and tell Hamlet, and meanwhile we're entering Act 1, Scene 2. If you recall, I said it's been 2 months since Hamlet's dad died, and Act 1, Scene 2, we're at the wedding of Hamlet's uncle and Hamlet's mom. Yep, she's getting remarried to her dead husband's brother 2 months after he dies. So, the king's name, or the king, which is Hamlet's uncle right now, goes by the name Claudius. So if you see king, if I say king or Claudius, that's going to be Hamlet's uncle. If you hear the name Queen or Gertrude, that's Hamlet's mom. Okay? So we're going to start off with a speech from the king, and he's going to be talking to Hamlet about his father's death. Okay? Enter the king, queen, Hamlet, Polonius. Okay. Something you gotta figure out is, I don't know if you guys know, Ophelia, which is, if you know anything about Hamlet, you know that Ophelia is Hamlet's love interest. Polonius is Ophelia's father, okay? And Polonius is also Hamlet's uncle's advisor, okay? Because you know how kings need advisors? Yeah, he's basically the king's advisor, yeah? Who's not very useful. Okay? Laertes is Ophelia's brother. Voldemort and Cornelius they're insignificant, don't worry about them, okay? They're just messengers. King. Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it befits us to bear our kingdom's hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yes, so far hath discretion fought with nature, and we wise sorrow think on him, together with remembrances of ourselves. Therefore, sometimes sister, now our queen, the imperial jointess to this warlike state, hath we tear a defeated joy. With an auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth and funeral, and with dirge and marriage, an equal sale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife, nor have we here barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, or all our thanks. Now follows that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weekly supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state can be disjoint and out of frame. Colleague with his dream of advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands, lost by his father, with all bonds of loss, to our valiant brothers, so much for him. Now for ourselves, and for this time of needing, thus much the business is, we have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who's impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of his nephew's purpose, to his further guide herent, that which he levies. The list and full proportions are all made out of this subject, and we are to dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voldemort, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king, more than to scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty. So he basically talks about, like, okay, our king is dead, and Fortinbras is coming to invade our land, but we're gonna send messengers to his uncle to stop him. And he sent Cornelius and Voldemort was like, okay, here you go. Go deliver this to the uncle and have him stop Fortinbras from invading us. That's what he basically said. Cornelius and Voldemort. That in all things we show our duty, King. We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. Exit Voldemort and Cornelius. Now, Laertes, what's news with you? You told us some suit. What's it, Laertes? Laertes, you cannot speak of the reason to the Dane, and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the earth, the hand is not more instrument to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What thou have, Laertes? So something you gotta learn about Laertes is that he studies he's studying abroad in France. Okay, so he's coming back for the wedding and funeral thing. So yeah, and then he's going back. Laertes, dread my lord, your leave and favor to return to France, and whence, though willingly, I came to Denmark to show my duty to your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty is done. My thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon. King, have you your father's leave? What say, Polonius? Polonius, he hath, my lord, wrung from me and my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I seal my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go. King, take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend at thy will. But now my cousin Hamlet and my son Hamlet aside. He's talking to himself. Okay, like, you know when you it says aside, which means he's like, okay, he's like whispering to himself. Okay, a little more than kin and less than kind. King, how is it that the clouds still hang on you? Hamlet, not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun. He's being sarcastic. Queen, good Hamlet. Cast thy knightly color off, and let thy shines look up like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy valid lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common that all lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Hamlet, aye, madam, it is common. So, somebody explained this to me. So the queen was like, you know, people die and it's like common, right? And then Hamlet's like, you're right, it is common. When Hamlet says common, he's talking about like the queen getting married to the uncle. He's like indirectly mocking his mom for marrying his uncle. He's calling his mom common. Yeah, because she's like, hey, death is common. He's like, yeah, it is common. And he's talking to he's saying that to his mom. It's like sugar coated. Okay, Queen, if it be, why seem so particular with thee? And she doesn't get it. Hamlet, seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone with my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy aspirations of forced breath, nor the fruity rivers in the eyes, nor the dejected behavior of the visage, together with all moods, show of grief, that can detone me truly. These indeed seems, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within passion slow, but these trappings of the suits of woe. King, 'tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning's duties to your father, but you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound, in fatal obligation for some term, to do obsequences sorrow, but to preserve an obstinate condolence is a course, if impetuous stubbornness, 'tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled, for what we know must be, and it is common as any the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we, in our peevish opposition, take it to heart? Fie! It's a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who hath cried for the first course till he that died today. This must be so, we pray you. Throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of father, for let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love, and that which dearest father bears thy son, do I impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde in our desire, and we do beseech you bend to remain here in our cheer comfort of our eyes, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son. So what he basically said was that, I know your father died, but it's like, everybody dies, okay? So, you could just think of me as like your new dad, and I'm pretty sure Hamlet goes to school in Germany. He studies abroad in Germany, and he came back for his father's funeral, right? So then they're like, all right, why don't you like stay here for some time before going back to Germany? Yeah? And he's like, stop crying. That's what he basically said, like, stop crying, okay? He's like, crying is a sin. That's what he's basically saying to him. And keep in mind, it's only been 2 months, okay? Like, let the kid grieve. Okay. Queen, let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us, go not to Wittenberg. Hamlet, I shall in all my best obey you, madam. King, why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourselves in Denmark, madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord to Hamlet sits smiling to my heart in grace whereof no drunken health that Denmark drinks to this day, but in the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the king's rouse to the heaven shall be built again, and speaking earthly thunder, come away. Everybody leaves except Hamlet, and Hamlet's alone, okay? And he's gonna be saying stuff. Hamlet. That this too solid flesh would melt, thaw and resolve itself into a dew, but that the everlasting that has not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how very state flat and unprofitable seems to me with all the uses of this world. Fie on it, oh fie, with this unweeded garden that grows to seed things unreaching and gross in nature, possess it merely that it should come to this. But 2 months dead! Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that this was to this. I venture to a satyr so loving to my mother, that he might not seem between the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly, heaven and earth. Must I remember why she would hang on to him, as if increased in appetite had grown? By what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on it. No, he said, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were told, in which she followed my poor father's body. Like nobly, all tears, why she even, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason will have mourned longer. Married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father and I to Hercules within a month. Yet the salt of most unrighteous tears, she left the flushing in her gallant eyes. She married a wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor can it come to good, but it breaks my heart, for I must hold my tongue. I think this part is like pretty like self-explanatory. He's basically cursing out his mom for like, he's basically like saying like, oh yeah, I'm embarrassed to death, and then he's like cursing out his mom for marrying his uncle this early. Anyways, enter Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo. Horatio, hail to your lordship. Hamlet, I'm glad to see you as well, Horatio. Oh, I do forget myself. Sorry. My Fujo mind is like acting up because he's like, he had like this whole like, Hamlet is the definition of like, you know that meme that of like that stick figure that's like, there's no the universe is unjust and there's no balance in the universe, like the stick figure cries, and then like the next picture they're like happy, they're like, oh my god, it's something, right? That's literally like Hamlet. Like he would be like, I don't want to live anymore, life is too unjust, and then Horatio comes in, he's like, oh my god, Horatio. That's literally how he is, I'm not kidding. Oh, Horatio, or I do forget myself. Horatio, the same, my lord, and your poor servant here. Hamlet, sir, my good friends, I changed with that name you. What makes you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus, like you can see here, right? He's like, oh, welcome back, like Horatio, and then he sees Marcellus. He's like, oh, Marcellus. Oh, Marcellus, you're here too. I didn't see you. Yes, I do ship them. Marcellus. My good lord, Hamlet, I am very glad to see you. Good evening, sir. But in what faith makes you from Wittenberg? Horatio, a transpotion, my good lord. Hamlet, I would not hear your enemies say so, nor shall I do my years that violence to make it trust yourself your own report against yourself. I know you are no trance, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you part. Horatio, my lord, I came to see your father's funeral. Hamlet, I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Horatio, indeed, my lord. It followed hard upon. Hamlet, thrift, Horatio. The funeral's baked meats that coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. When I have meet my dearest foe in heaven, or that I seen that day, Horatio. My father, Horatio. I think me sees my father. Horatio, where, my lord? Okay, so if you don't know, sorry, to explain. So, you know, like, when someone, like, dies, right, and you're trying to, like, delude yourself, you're like, oh, I think I see this person, right? But then Horatio kind of took it too literally because he just saw, like, you know, he just saw the ghost, so he's like, where? So then, yeah, Hamlet's like, in my mind's eye, Horatio. Horatio, I saw him once. He was a goodly king. Hamlet, he was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again. Horatio, my lord, I think I saw him yesterday night. Hamlet, saw who? Horatio, my lord, the king your father. Hamlet, the king my father. Horatio, seizing your admiration for a while. With an alternate ear may I deliver, till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you. Hamlet, for God's love, let me hear. Horatio, 2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch, in the dead fast in the middle of the night. Thus been encountered. A figure like your father, armed at this point exactly a capapé, appears before them, and with sullen march goes slowly and stately by them. Thrice he walks. By their pressed and fear-suppressed eyes, within his trench's length, will stay distilled almost to jelly with the axe of fear. Stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me, in this dreadful secrecy, in part they did. And I with them the 3rd night kept watch, whereas they had delivered both in time, form of the thing. Each word made good and true, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands were not more like. Hamlet, but where was this? Marcellus, my lord, upon the platform where we watched. Hamlet, did you not speak to it? Horatio, my lord, I did, but answer made it none, yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, as if it would speak. But then the morning cock crew loud, and the sound is shrunk haste away, and vanished from our sight. Hamlet, 'tis very strange. Horatio, as I do live, my honor, lord, it's true, and we did think it read down into our duty to let you know it. Hamlet, indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight? Marcellus and Bernardo, we do, my lord. Hamlet, armed, you say? Both. Armed, my lord. Hamlet, from top to toe? Both. My lord, from head to toe. Hamlet, then you saw not his face? Horatio, yes, my lord. He wore his beaver up. Hamlet, would he looked frowningly? Horatio, and in countenance more in sorrow than in anger. Hamlet, pale or red? Horatio, nay, very pale. Hamlet, and he fixed his eyes upon you? Horatio, most constantly. Hamlet, I would I had been there. Horatio, it would have much amazed you. Hamlet, yes, like, very like. Stayed it long? Horatio, while one with moderate haste might tell 100. Marcellus and Bernardo, longer. Horatio, not when I saw it. Hamlet, his beard was grizzled, no? Horatio, it was, as I have seen it in his life, a sabred silver. Hamlet, I will watch tonight. Perchance he'll walk again. Horatio, I warrant it will. Hamlet, if it assumes my noble father's person, I speak to it through hell itself should gape. And I bid me hold my peace, I pray to you all. If this hitherto conceal this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall have tonight. Given an understanding, but no tongue, I will requite your loves, so fare ye well upon the platform. 'Twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you. All. Our duty to your honor. Hamlet, your loves as mine to you. Farewell. And so exit Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo. And so he's alone again. My father's spirit and arms, all is not well. I doubt some foul play would the night come. Till then sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all earth overwhelms them to men's eyes. So they're like, okay, we saw your dad, and he's like, okay, I'll go check it out myself. And he thinks like, hey, what if this is a trap? Because you'll find out that Horatio is really smart. Yeah, not Horatio. Sorry, Hamlet's really smart. Act 1, Scene 3. We're with Laertes and Ophelia right now. Laertes is Ophelia's brother. Ophelia's Hamlet's potential love interest. And so Laertes is going back to France, and he's like bidding his family farewell. Yeah? Laertes. My necessities are embarked farewell, and sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy as assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you. Ophelia. Do you doubt that? Laertes. For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primary nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting. The perfume of suppliance is of a minute, no more. Ophelia, no more but so? Laertes, think it no more, for nature in crescent does not grow alone. Enthuse and bulk, but this is temple waxes, an inward service of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor coddle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, but the choice depends on the safety and health of this whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed, and thus formed must his and unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereas he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, if it's your wisdom to so far believe it, as he is in particular act and place, may he give his same deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weighs what loss your honor may sustain. If, too, with crescent years you list his songs, or lose your heart, may your chaste treasure open to his unmastered opportunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of a shot and danger of desire. The chaste maid is prodigal enough, if she amass your beauty to the moon. Virtue is self, scopes not calamus strokes, the canker gall and the infants of spring, too oft before the buttons they disclose, and in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blasphements are of most imminent, but beware then. Best safety lies in fear. Used to his self rebels, though none else near. So he basically tells her, like, stay away from Hamlet. Like, he says stay away from Hamlet because he's like a prince and he has his duties as like a prince, and so if he says he loves you, he won't hesitate to betray her for the sake of the state. So he's basically telling her to stay away from Hamlet. Ophelia, I shall in effect keep this good lesson, keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puff and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of Dalens threads, and recks not his own meeting. Laertes, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes, entered Polonius, their dad. Polonius, yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits on the shoulder for your sail, and you stayed here. Here my blessing with thee, laying his hand on Laertes' head. And these proceeds in thy memory, and these few proceeds in thy memory. Look thou character, give thou knight's banal tongue, nor any unproportionate thoughts in his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in the adoption tried, grapple them onto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy pawns with entertainment of each new hath unpledged comrade. Beware of thy entrance to a quarrel, but bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habits and thy purse can buy, but not this expressed in fancy, rich nor gaudy. For the apparel proclaims in the man, and they in friends of the best rank and station are the most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower or a lender be, for loans oft loses both self and friend, and borrowing dulls in the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night of the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season, this in thee. So he's like, alright, Laertes, it's time for you to leave, but he gives him some advice. He's like, alright, what did he say? He said, yeah, listen to people, but you can listen to people talk about, their worries, but never talk to other people about your worries. Okay, it's like, you can hear other people trauma dump, but don't trauma dump to other people, okay? He's giving him some good advice. Stuff like that. Laertes, I most humbly do take my leave, my lord. Polonius, the time invites you. Go your servants tend. Laertes, farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you. Ophelia, 'tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it. Laertes, farewell, exits. Polonius, what's it, Ophelia? What's it, Ophelia, he has said to you? Ophelia, so please you something touching the Lord Hamlet. Polonius, marry well bethought. 'Tis told me halfway oft very late, give private time to you, and you yourself have your audience been most freed and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in a way of caution I must tell you, do not understand yourself so clearly, as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What's it between you? Give me out the truth. Ophelia, he hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me. Polonius, affections? You speak like a green girl, unshifted in the perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them? Ophelia, I do not, my lord. What should I think? Polonius, marry, I teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have in these tenders your true prey, which are not sterling, tender to yourself more dearly. Or do not crack the winds of your poor phrase wrongly, and thus you tender me a fool. Ophelia, my lord, he has improved me with love in honorable fashion. Polonius, aye, fashion you may call it. Go to. Ophelia, and hath given courtesy to his speech, my lord, with all the holy vows of the heavens. Polonius, aye. Springs to catch woodcocks, I do know, when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blades, daughter, give more light than heat, instincts in both. Even in their promise, it is like a making that you must not take for fire. From this time, be something scanter of your maiden presence, set in the entreatements of a higher rate than command to parley for Lord Hamlet. Believe in so much in him that he is younger, and with a much larger tether that may he walk. That may be given to you in few, Ophelia. Do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, not in that dye which investments show, but more implements of unholy suits, breathing like unsanctified and pious bawds, the better to be gold, and this is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you slander any moment leisure, as you give words to talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways. Sorry, hold on, let me charge my PC real quick. Okay, so he basically said the same thing as, like, Laertes. He's like, hey, all the words, he's like, hey, have you been hanging out with Hamlet lately? And she's like, yeah, we've been doing the deed. Sorry. We've been hanging out at night. That's what she said. And then Polonius is like, you do realize, like, all his affections are fake, right? And she's like, and then he's like, okay, I'm not allowing you to hang out with Hamlet anymore. So he's like, yeah, you're not allowed to hang out with Hamlet anymore. And she's like, okay. Because this is why I don't like Ophelia. I don't know if I should share my thoughts now. I probably should. Like, I probably will, but it's like, she listens to, like, her dad, and she's kind of like a tool for, like, the parents, like, the uncle to use, and she, like, doesn't really have that much personality, to be honest. Okay, hold on, let me check if my merch is here. It's not here yet, okay. Alright. Act 1. Scene 4. Enter, we're at night, so Hamlet and the others are gonna go check out the ghost now. Enter Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus. Hamlet. The air bites shrewly, it is very cold. Horatio. It is a nipping and an eager air. Hamlet. What hour now? Horatio. I think it lacks 12. Marcellus. No, 'tis a struck. Horatio. Indeed? I heard it not, and then draweth near the season, wherein the spirit held us wont to walk. Flourish of trumpets and ordnance shot off within. What does this mean, my lord? Hamlet. The king doth wake tonight to take his rouse, keeps wassail and the swaggering up in spring reels as he drains his draughts in the wrench down, and the kettle drum and the trumpets thus bray out the triumph of his pledge. Horatio. Is this a custom? Hamlet. Hey, marry 'tis. But to my mind, though I am native here, to the manner born, it is a custom more honored in the breach of thy observance. This heavy-headed rebel east and west makes us. Oh, Jesus Christ! There's so many, like. Sorry. traduce and the tax of other nations. They clap us drunkards, and with the Swinish phrase, soil our addiction, and indeed it takes, for our achievements, though reformed at the height. The pith and marrow of our attributes so often chances to particular men, that for vicious moles of nature within them, as in their birth, wherein they are not guilty. Since nature cannot choose its origin by the regrowth of some complexion after breaking down the pales and forth of reason, or by some habit, it is too much or leaves the form of plausive manners that these men carry, I say the stamp of one defect, being nature's livery or fortune's star, their virtues of else. But be as they pure as grace, as infinite as men they undergo, shall in the general conjure take corruption from that particular fault to the Jesus Christ, where am I? Oh, particular fault. The dram of eel doth all the noble substance often doubt to his own scandal. So they're asking like why like the trumpets, there were like trumpets and like so much noise, and Hamlet basically like explains what happened, what's going on. I forgot. Okay, I'm sorry. I know like I remember my professor like explaining this part to me, but I cannot remember for the life of me like what they were talking about. Like what he was saying at this part, like why like there's so much noise. Anyways, I don't think it really matters that much though. Maybe it has to do with like Formbroth again. That makes sense. Yeah. Horatio, look, my lord, here it comes. Enters Ghost Hamlet. Angels and ministers of the grace defends us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin demand. Bring with these airs from heaven and blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comes in such a questionable shape that I will speak to it. I call thee Hamlet. King, father, royal Dano, answer me. Then I'll be burst in thy ignorance, but tell why thy cannibalized bones, hearsed in death, but have burst their sentiments. Why the spectre, when we saw thee quietly in urns, has opted his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again? What may this mean? That thou's dead corse, again in the complete steel, revisit thus the glimpse of the moon, making night hideous, and we fools of nature so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reach of our souls. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do? Ghost beckons Hamlet. He's like, the ghost is basically like, hey, Hamlet, get over here. Horatio, it beckons you to go away with it, as it is some impartment did desire you to alone. Marcellus. Let go with that courteous action, but it waves you more removed grounds. But do not go with it. Horatio. By no means. Hamlet. It will not speak, then I will follow it. Horatio. Do not, my lord. Hamlet. Why? What should be there to fear? I do not set my life upon a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that? What can it do to that? And for a thing immortal as itself, it waves me forth again. I will follow it. Horatio. What if it tempted you towards a flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of a cliff, or the beetles to his base to the sea? There summons some other horrific form which deprived you of your sovereignty for a reason, and draw you to this madness. Think of it! The very place that puts toys of desperation without the motive into every brain, that looks every fathom to the sea, and hears your roar below. Hamlet, it waves me still. Go on, I follow thee. Marcellus, you shall not go, my lord. Hamlet, hold off your hands. Horatio, be ruled, you shall not go. Hamlet, Fate cries out, and make each pretty artery in my body so hardly as the Neiman's lion's nerve. Ghost beckons. Still I am called. Unhand me, gentlemen. Breaking. So he's like. So they're trying to hold him down, and so he broke free. By heavens, I will make a ghost out of him that lets me. I stay away. Go on, I follow thee. Exits Ghost and Hamlet. Horatio. He waxes desperate with imagination. Marcellus, let's follow. Thus not fit thus to obey him. Horatio, have after. To what issue will come this? Will this come? Marcellus, something is rotten in this state of Denmark. Horatio, heaven will direct to it. Marcellus, nay, let's follow him. Alright, so now he's gonna be, Hamlet's gonna be talking to the ghost. Act 1, Scene 5. Enters Ghost and Hamlet. Hamlet. Whither whilst thou lead me? Speak! I will go no further. Ghost. Mark me! Hamlet. I will. Ghost. My hour is almost come. When I to Sophus, Sophias in torment flames must render up myself. Hamlet. Alas, poor ghost. Ghost. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. Hamlet. Speak. I am bound to hear. Ghost. So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear. Hamlet. What? Ghost. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I would a tale unfold whose lightest words shall herald up thy soul. Freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars, start from their spheres. They knot and combine locks to part, and like particular hairs to stand on end, like quills upon the fretful porcupine. But this eternal blazon must not be. To ears and flesh of blood, list, list, oh list, if thou didst ever hear thy father's love. Hamlet. Oh God. Ghost. Revenge is foul and most unnatural murder. Hamlet. Murder! Ghost. Murder most foul as in best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural. Hamlet. Haste me to know that I wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge. Ghost. I find thee a pat, and I find thee a pat, and dullers thou shalt be. Oh, Jesus Christ! And dullers thou. Sorry about that. Hold on. And dullers shouldst thou be than the fat weed that rots itself in the lease of Lease's wharf. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. So in the whole year of Denmark, it is by a forged process my death. Rankly absurd, but know thou's noble young, and the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Yeah, pretty straightforward. He basically says, the dude that killed me is now wearing my crown, which means the dude that killed me is now the king of Denmark, which means the dude that killed me, it's your uncle. Sorry. Hamlet. Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle. Ghost. Aye, that incestuous, that adulterous beast, with witchcraft of his wit, that traitor's gift, oh, so wicked wit and gifts, that have the power to seduce. One his shameful lust, the will of my most seemingly virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off that was, from me whose love of that dignity, that it went to the hands in hands, even in the vows I made to her in marriage, and now to decline upon a wretched whose natural gifts were poor, but those of mine, whose virtue as it never will be moved, those lewdness and court in the shape of heaven, so lust through a radiant angel linked with the state itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my seizure hour thy uncle stole with the juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and the porches of my ears did pour that leprous distillment whose effect still holds an imminent of blood and man, that's swift as quicksilver. It courses the natural gates and valleys of the body, and with the sudden vigor that it possessed, occurred like eating droppings into milk. The thin and wholesome blood, so did it mine, and in most instant letter barked about, most hazard-like, with vile and loathsome crust, all my smooth body. Thus I was sleeping by a brother's hand of life and crown of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossom of my sin, and housed, disappointed, unanaled, no reckon made, but sent to my account with all imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, horrible, most horrible! Thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not be the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But however thou purse this act, taint not in thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against my mother Ost. Leave her to heaven and those thorns in her blossomed lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the maiden to be near, and begins to pale his effectual fire. And against, adieu, adieu, Hamlet, remember me. So, what he basically just said was, he was sleeping in the garden, and the uncle came and poured poison into his ears, and now he wants Hamlet to take revenge. And if you guys know the plot of Hamlet, that's basically the plot of Hamlet. Yeah, Hamlet sees the ghost of his dad that wants him to take revenge. This is the scene where the ghost tells him. That basically sets off the rest of the story. Exit, Hamlet. And now he's having another soliloquy. Oh, all you hosts of heaven. Oh, earth, what else? And shall I cope in hell? Oh, fie, hold my heart. And you, my sins, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee. Thou and thy poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in the distracted globe, remember thee. Yet from the table of my memory I wipe all away of trivial fond records. Saw all books, all forms, all pleasures past, that youth and all observations copied there. And thy commandment of all alone shall live, within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with bastard matter, yes, by heaven, most pretentious woman. Oh, villain! Villain, smiling, damned villain! My tables I meet as it is I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least, I am sure it may be so in Denmark. Writing. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my words. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it. Horatio. My lord, my lord! Marcellus. Lord Hamlet. Horatio. Heaven secure him. Hamlet. So be it. Marcellus. Oh, my lord. Hamlet. Boy. Come, bird, come. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. Marcellus. How is it, my noble lord? Horatio. What news, my lord? Hamlet. Oh, wonderful. Horatio. My good lord, tell it. Hamlet. No, you'll reveal it. Horatio. Not I, my lord, by heaven. Marcellus. Nor I, my lord. Hamlet. How say you, then? Would a heart of man methinks it? But you'll be secret? Horatio and Marcellus. Aye, by heaven, my lord. Hamlet. There's never Denmark dwelling in all Denmark. Fuck me. There's near a villain dwelling in all Denmark. Be's an errant knave. Horatio. There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this. Hamlet. Why, right you are in the right, and so no more circumstance at all. I hold it fits that we shake hands and part. You as your business and desires shall point to yet you. For every man has business and desire, such as it is, and for my poor heart, look you, I go pray. Horatio. These are but wild and whirling words, my lord. Hamlet. I'm sorry if they offend you heartily. Yes, faith heartily. Horatio. There is no offense, my lord. Hamlet. Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio. There's much offense, too. Touching his vision here, it is an honest ghost that let me tell you. For your desire to know what is between us, O masters, you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one more request. Horatio. What is it, my lord? We will. Hamlet. Never make known what you have seen tonight. Horatio and Marcellus. My lord, we will not. Hamlet. Nay, but swear it. Horatio. In faith, my lord, not I. Marcellus. Nor I, my lord, in faith. Hamlet. Upon my sword. Marcellus. We have sworn, my lord, already. Hamlet. Indeed, sworn my sword, indeed. Ghost. Swear. So the ghost is like, Swear. Yeah. Hamlet. Say what thou so. Art thou there? True penny? Come on. You hear this fellow in the clearage. Consent to swear. Horatio. Propose to the oath, my lord. Hamlet. Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword. Ghost. Swear. Hamlet. Then we shall... I know I don't know how to pronounce this. It's in a different language. Then we shift our ground. Come hither, gentlemen, and lay our hands against my sword. Never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword. Ghost. Swear. Hamlet. Well said, old mole. Canst work on the earth so fast, the worthy pioneer, once to remove good friends. Horatio. Oh, good day and night, but this wonder strange. Hamlet. And therefore, as the strange give it to welcome, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never so help you mercy, how strange or odd sorrow I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic of disposition on, that you, at times seeing me, shall never with arms recumber thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful face. Well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or if we list to speak, or there be, and if it might, or an ambitious giving out to note, that you ought of me, it is not to do, so grace and mercy at your most need help you swear. Ghost. Swear. Hamlet. Rest, put spirit. So, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend to you, and with what so poor man as Hamlet is, may do to express his love and friendlings to you. God willing shall not lack, let us go forever, and seal your fingers on your lips, I pray, of time is of joint. O cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together. Alright, so that's the end of Act 1. Should we stop here? We've only been reading for like an hour. Should we read another act? Okay, wait. I have time today. Oh, let me take a break first. But it's like, what was I wanting to say? I want to say I'm busy, but I'm not busy. I'm not busy at all. So I have more time to spend with y'all. Yeah, okay. Okay. So to summarize, I think you guys understand. Hamlet's dad died. His friend sees a ghost. He sees the ghost. Ghost says the uncle killed him and wants him to take revenge. That's the summary, complete summary of scene 1. Sorry, act 1, sorry. Alright, so in act 2, scene 1, I actually don't have to read this part. Actually, I didn't even read this part. I think we're gonna actually skip this part. It's not really like significant. I'll tell you what happens. So in act 2, scene 1, do you remember before Laertes left, right? Polonius gave him some advice. So in act 2, scene 1, Polonius is gonna hire this guy named Ronaldo to spy on Laertes and basically tempt him to do like the things he told him not to do and see if he does them. Okay? Which is actually like pretty insignificant because it's like after this scene, you really like never see them again. Like there's no follow-up to this. Because, well, we never see Ronaldo again, and something else. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. It's pretty insignificant. So I'm just gonna skip this part. But yeah, he's gonna hire this dude to spy on Laertes. Anyways. So they're in a room within Polonius's house. Okay, so actually no, we're gonna skip half this. Okay, so we're gonna go to the point where Ronaldo exits and Ophelia comes in. Okay, Polonius, farewell. Exits Ronaldo and enters Ophelia. Ophelia, alas, my lord, I've been so affrighted. Polonius. Wait. Okay, yeah, something I forgot to tell you. Hamlet's gonna act crazy, okay? Because I told you, Hamlet's like, Hamlet is smart, okay? Hamlet is really smart. So, he doesn't actually, like, believe the ghost right away. So here, he has a plan to first prove if what the ghost said was true. So Hamlet is like, okay, I'm gonna start acting crazy, okay? So now Ophelia comes in and she has something to say. Ophelia comes in. Alas, my lord, I've been so affrighted. Polonius. With what? In the name of God? The name of God? Ophelia, my lord, I was suing in my chamber. Lord Hamlet, with all his doubted all embraced, no hath upon his head, his stockings fouled, unguarded, and down griped to his ankle. Pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so pitiful and purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell. To speak of horrors, he comes before me. Polonius, mad for thy love? Ophelia, my lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it. Polonius, what said he? Ophelia, he took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then he goes to the length of all his arms, and with his other hands thus his brow. He falls through such pursual of my face, as he would draw it, long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so pitiful and profound, that it did seem to shadow all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, with his head over his shoulders turned. He seemed to find his way without his eyes, for outdoors he went without their help, into the last vengeance of their light on me. Polonius, come, go with me, I will seek the king. This is a very ecstasy love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the wills to desperate undertakings. It is oft any passion under heavens that does inflict our natures. I am sorry. Have you given him hard words of late? Ophelia, no, my good lord, but as you command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me. Polonius, that has made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment, I had not quoted him. I fear that he would trifle, but meant to wreck later, but beshrew my jealousy, that it seems to proper our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinion, and it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close must move. More grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come. So basically Ophelia comes in and she's like, Dad, Hamlet's acting crazy. And then Polonius like, acting crazy? Have you been meeting him lately? And she's like, no, because you told me not to. And he's like, I understand. He's crazy because he's deprived for love. Yeah, that's what he basically says. Alright. Act 2, Scene 2. We're at the castle. Enter King Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Something you gotta know about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. You guys might have read the webtoon Everywhere to Nowhere. Okay? But here's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Okay? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Hamlet's childhood friends. But they're not like Horatio. Okay? Horatio's like loyal. They're not loyal. They're gonna be helping the king. Also, something else I forgot to tell you guys, that is that, you know how before, at the ghost scene, Hamlet made, like, Horatio and the others to swear they won't tell anyone, like, what they saw? Yeah, they're gonna keep that, because back then people still kept their promises, so they won't reveal it, don't worry. Anyways. Yeah, okay. King. Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of our Hamlet's transformation, so I call it. Since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was, what it should be, more than his father's death has put him so much the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of, I entrust you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and so neighbor to his youth and humor, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court. Did some little time so bide your companies, to draw him on to pleasure, and to gather him so much from occasion that you may glean, whether aught to his unknown stuff afflicts him thus that openly lies within our remedy. Queen, good gentleman, he has much talked of you, and sure I am two men that are not living, to whom most to hear is if it pleases you to show us much gentry and goodwill to expend your time with us a while. For the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as a king's remembrance. Rosencrantz, boast your majesty's might, by the sovereignties of power you have of us. Put your dreaded pleasures more into command than to entreaty. Gilderstein, but we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded. King, thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Gilderstein. Queen, thanks, Gilderstein and gentle Rosencrantz. I beseech you instantly to visit. My too much changed son, go some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is. Gilderstein, heaven make our presence to our practices pleasant and helpful to him. Queen, amen. Yeah, so basically they're like, alright, go spy on him. But you know what's funny? They don't even know who is who. Because the king is like, thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Gilderstein, and the queen's like, thanks, Gilderstein and gentle Rosencrantz. They don't know who is who, okay? They don't know who is who. But since he's like, they're like, okay, since you guys are Hamlet's childhood friends, go spy on him. Okay? Alright. Exits Rosencrantz and Gilderstein and enter Polonius, his advisor. This ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned. King, thou hast been the father of thy good news. Polonius, have I, my lord? Assure you, my good liege, I hold duty as to how I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so true, as it has us to do so, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy. Yeah, so at this point, like, the word has gotten out that Hamlet's crazy, okay? And he's like, alright, I know why he's crazy. King, oh, speak of that, I do long to hear. Polonius, give first a minute to the ambassadors, my news shall be the fruit to that great feast. King, thyself do grace to them, do bring them in. Exits Polonius. He tells me, my sweet king, he has found the head and source of all your son's distemper. Queen, I'll doubt there's no other but the main, his father's death and our old hasty marriage. King, we shall sift him. Enter Polonius with Voldemort and Cornelius. Welcome, my good friends. Say, Voldemort, what from our brothers from Norway? So Voldemort and Cornelius, it's been a few, okay, I assume it's been like a couple weeks. And so they're returned, and they're like, alright, we got word from Norway. Voldemort, most fair return and greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent us to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be in preparation against the Polacks. But better looked into, he truly found that was against your highness what grieved, so that his sickness, age, and components was falsely borne in hand, sends out arrest on Fortinbras, which he in brief obeys. Receives rebuke from Norway, and, in fine, make vows before his uncle, nevermore to give essay armies against your majesty, where an old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 3,000 crowns in annual fee, and his commission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Polacks, with an entreaty, herein further shown, gives a piece of paper, that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominance of enterprise, such as regards in safety and allowance, as herein are set down. So he said, alright, so we told Fortinbras' uncle that he's trying to stage a coup against, like, no, sorry, not stage a coup, sorry, he's trying to like start a war against like Denmark. So then the uncle now has stopped Fortinbras from invading Denmark. So we're good. So we're Gucci. That's what he basically said. King, it likes us well, and from our considered time we'll read, answer, and thinks upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Go to your rest. At night we shall feast together. Most welcome home. Exits Voldemort and Cornelius. Polonius, this business is well ended, my liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is. Why day is day, night is night, and time is time, where is nothing but to waste night and day and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tedious in the limbs of outward flourishes, I will brief, your noble son is mad. Mad, for I call it the true definition of madness. But what is to be nothing but mad, but let that go. Queen, more matter with less art. So he's like, it's funny because he's like, oh, I found why he's mad, and the queen's like, just shut up and get to the point. That's what she means. Polonius, madam, I swear I know use no matter art at all, that he is mad, tis true, tis pity, tis is true, O true figure, but farewell it, I will use no art, mad, let us grant him then, and now remains that we found the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect comes cause, thus it remains the remainder, thus prepend. I have a daughter, whilst she is mine, who in her duty, obedience marks, hath given this to me, now gathers the sunrise, rees. To the celestial and soul idol, the most beautiful Ophelia, that is an ill phrase, a vile phrase, beautified, it is a vile phrase, but you shall hear thus, reads, in her excellence and white bosom, these etc. Queen, came this from Hamlet to her? Polonius, good madam, stay a while, I'll be faithful, reads, doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but now never doubt thy I love. Dear Ophelia, I am in these numbers, but have not thou to reckon my groans, but that I love her thee best, O best thee, believe it, adieu. Thine evermore most dearly lady, while this machine is to him. Hamlet. In this obedience has my daughter shown me, the more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means and grace, all given to mine ear. King, but how hath she received his love? Polonius, what do you think of me? King, as a man of faithful and honorable? Polonius, I have fain proven so, but what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing as I perceived it? I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you think, or my dear majesty, your queen here thinks? If I had played the desk or the table book, or given my heart to a weakling, mute and dumb, or looked upon his love with idle sight, what might you think? I went around to work, and my young mistress did speak, Lord Hamlet's a prince, out of thy sphere, this must not be. And then I proceeds gave her that she should lock herself from his resorts, admit no messengers, and receive no tokens, which then she received the fruits of my advice, and he repulsed the short tale to make, fell into sadness, into a fast, and hence into a watch, then into a weakness, and to a lightness by his decision, into the madness, whereas now he raves and we wail for. So, yeah, he's like, alright, I found why Hamlet's like acting weird, and he reads like this letter from Hamlet to Ophelia. He's like, so I told my daughter that to stay away from Hamlet, and he became mad. So yeah, that's why he's like acting weird. So he thinks that Hamlet is like mad because Ophelia won't show him affection, which is not true, by the way. Hamlet didn't, in my opinion, I mean, it's up to your interpretation, but in my opinion, Hamlet did not like Ophelia at all, okay? He liked Horatio. Hold on, just give me a sec, okay? I dropped something on the floor. Ugh, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, sticky keys. Ah, no. Alright. King, do you think this is? Queen, it may be very likely. Polonius, has there been such a time I fain know that? That I possibly said 'tis so when it's proven otherwise. King, not that I know. Polonius, take this from this, if this be otherwise. Points his head to his head and shoulders. If circumstance lead me here, I will find where truth is hid, though it's hid indeed within the center. King, how may we try it further? Polonius, you know sometimes he walks for hours together here in the lobby. Queen, so he does indeed. Polonius, at such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind in a Rosden. Mark the encounter if he loves her not, and he not for his reason, fallen here. But let me be no assailant for a state, but keep a farm and carters. King, we will try it. Queen, but look where this poor wretched comes reading. So he's like, all right. So you know how he's like talking to the king, right? He's like, they're like, how can you prove this claim? And he's like, all right. When he comes here, he comes walking around here. I'm gonna have my daughter talk to him, and we're gonna hide and see how he reacts. Right, and then here comes Hamlet with a book in hand. Exits king and queen and attendants. Enter Hamlet reading. How does my good lord Hamlet? Hamlet. Well, God of mercy. Polonius. How do you know me, my lord? Hamlet. Excellent. Well, you're a fishmonger. Polonius. Not I, my lord. Hamlet. Then would you be such an honest a man? Polonius. Honest, my lord. Hamlet. Aye, sir, to be honest, as this world goes, there is to be one man picked out of 10,000. Polonius. That is very true, my lord. Hamlet. For the very sun breeds madness, and the dead dog being sun-kissing carrion, have you a daughter? Polonius. I have, my lord. Hamlet. Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it. Polonius. How do you say that? Aside. He's talking to himself now. Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, far gone. And truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love very near. I speak to him this again. What do you read, my lord? Hamlet. Words, words, words. Polonius. What is the matter, my lord? Hamlet. Between who? Polonius. I mean the matter that you read, my lord. Hamlet. Slander, sir. For the satire slaves hear that the old men have the gray beards, and that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes freezing thick, amberse and plum, tree glum, that they are in the platful league of wit together, that they most weak hams, which all, sir, though I have most powerfully and potentially believed, yet I hold it not honestly to have set it down. For you yourself, sir, if you should as old as I am, like a crab, you could go backwards. Polonius, aside, he's talking to himself again. Though this madness, yet there be a method to it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord? Hamlet. Into my grave? Indeed, that is out of the air. Aside. How pregnant sometimes the replies are. A happy that often Mads hits to it, which reason's insanity could not. So possibly be delivered of it, I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meetings between him and my daughter, so my honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you. Hamlet. You cannot, sir, take away me from anything that will not more willingly part with all. Except my life, except my life, except my life. Polonius. Fare you well, my lord. Hamlet. He's talking to himself, because, Polonius just left, now he's by himself. These tedious old fools. Now enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Polonius. You shall seek the Lord Hamlet, there he is. Rosencrantz. God save you, sir. Guildenstern. My honored lord, Rosencrantz. My most dear lord. Hamlet. My excellent good friends, how thou's Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both? Rosencrantz. As the indifferent children of the earth. Guildenstern. Happy that we are not over happy, unfortunate's cap that we are not the very button. Hamlet. Nor the shoulder pair shoes? Rosencrantz. Neither, my lord. Hamlet. Then you lived above her waist or in the middle of her favors? Guildenstern. Faith in her privates were. Hamlet. In the secret parts of fortune, or more true, she is a strumpet. What's the news? Rosencrantz. None, my lord. That in the world's groans honest. Hamlet. Then is doomsday near that your news is not true. Hear me more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sent you to prison hither? Gildersleeve, prison, my lord. Hamlet, Denmark's a prison. Rosencrantz, then the world is one. Hamlet, a goodly one in which there are many confines, wards and dungeons. Denmark being the worst one, one of the worst. Rosencrantz, we think not so, my lord. Hamlet, why then is none to you, for it is nothing either good or bad thinking makes it to be me, it is a prison. Rosencrantz, why then in your ambition makes it one? 'Tis too narrow for your mind. Hamlet, oh God, I be bound into a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space if it not that I always had bad dreams. Gildersleeve, which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream. Hamlet, a dream itself is but a shadow. Rosencrantz, truly, and I hold ambition that so airy and light of a quality that it is but a shadow's shadow. Hamlet, there are old beggars' bodies, and our monarchs have outstretched heroes in the beggars' shadows. Shall we to the court? For in my fate I cannot reason. Rosencrantz and Gildersleeve will wait upon you. Hamlet, no such matter. I will not search to rest my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended, but it is the beaten of our friendship. What makes you at Elsinore? Rosencrantz, to visit you, my lord. No occasion. Hamlet, beggar that I am. I mean, even poor thanks, but I thanks to you, my dear friends. Thanks are to nearly half a penny. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining, a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak. This is what I mean by Hamlet's really fun, because, like, they were sent to spy on him, right? And at this point, Hamlet's already figured out they were sent for. And he's like, were you not sent for? He just saw right through them, okay? Gildersleeve, what should we say, my lord? Hamlet, why anything, but to the purpose you were sent for. And there were kinds of confession in your looks in which your modesties have not crafted enough to your color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you. Rosencrantz, to what end, my lord? Hamlet, that you must teach me. Let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship and the constancy of our youth, by the obligation that you have ever preserved love, and by what the dear and better proposer could charge you withal, and even be direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. Rosencrantz to Gildersleeve, what say you? Hamlet aside, Hamlet talking to himself. Nay then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off. Gildersleeve, my lord, we were sent for. Hamlet, I will tell you why, so shall in my anticipation prevent your discovery and your secrecy to the king and queen mount no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all customs of exercise, and indeed goes to the earth seems to me a stereo of promontory. But this excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, and this majestical roof fretted with the golden fire, why it appears to no other to me than a foul and persistent regression of vapors. What a piece of work and facilities and form, and like an angel and apprehend how God, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this sequence of dust? And yet to me, what is this, sequence of dust? Man delights not me, not woman either, though by your smiling you may seem so. My lord, Rosencrantz, my lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts. Hamlet, why'd you laugh then, when I said man delights not me? Rosencrantz, to think, my lord, if you delight not in a man, what enlightened entertainment players shall receive from you? We quoted them on their way, and hither they are coming to offer you service. Hamlet, he that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of me, and the venturous knights shall use his foil and target. The lover shall not sigh greatest. Humorous man shall end his part in peace. The clown shall make those laugh whose lungs tickle are like the seer, and the ladies shall say her mind freely, or the blank verse shall halt for it. What players are they? Rosencrantz, even though they won't take such delight into the tragedies of the city. Hamlet, how chances do they travel? Their residence, both in reputation and profit, was both better ways. was better both ways. Rosencrantz, I think their innovation comes from the means of the late innovation. Hamlet, do they hold the same esteem they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed? Rosencrantz, no, indeed they're not. Hamlet, how comes it? Do they grow rusty? Rosencrantz, nay, their endeavor keeps the wound at pace, but there is certain an archery of children, little Ises that cry on top of the question. They're most tyrannically clapped for it, and now, for these are now the fashion, and so to be rattled the common sages they call them, that are wearing rapiers, and frayed the goose quilts, their scares come hither. Hamlet, what, are they children who maintains them? How are they escorted? Will they pursue the quality of no longer they can sing? Or will they not say afterwards they will grow themselves to common players, that is not their means no better, whether to them do them wrong to make them exclaim their own succession? Rosencrantz, faith, there has been much to do both sides, and the nation holds no sin to tar them to controversy. If there was for a while no money bade for argument, therefore the poet and the player went for cups in the question. Hamlet, is it possible? Gilderstein, there has been much throwing about brains. Hamlet, do the boys carry it away? Rosencrantz, aye, they do, my lord. Hercules and his load. Hamlet, it is not very strange for my uncle, the king of Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him, while my father lived, 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats for a piece of his picture in little. Sblood, there's something that in this... Oh, Jesus Christ. Something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it. Flourishing of trumpets. So, yeah, there's gonna be players that arrive. I have no idea what they just talked about. Don't ask me. But yeah, basically, players are arriving. Players are like actors, like traveling actors. Yeah, and they're coming to Denmark. Well, Elsinore, to be specific. Jesus Christ. We're still pretty far away. Well, not that far away from Act 3 Scene 1. The to be speech is in Act 3. Okay, we'll finish Act 2 and we're done, okay? Yeah, we'll finish Act 2. Flourish of trumpets within. Gilderstein, there are the players. Hamlet, gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands come. The apparatus of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply you in this garb. Least my extent to the players, which I tell you must show fairly outward. You must more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived. Gilderstein, in what, my dear lord? Hamlet, I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know hawk from a handsaw. Enter Polonius. Well be with you, gentlemen. Hamlet, hark you, Gilderstein, and you too, at each ear a heather, but a great baby you see there is not yet out of the swaddling clouds. Rosencrantz, happily is the sound come to them, for they hold an old man. They say an old man is twice a child. Hamlet, I will prophesy he comes to tell me of this praise. Mark it, you say right. O morning Monday was so indeed. Polonius, my lord, I have news to tell you. Hamlet, my lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome. Polonius, the actors come hither, my lord. Hamlet, buzz, buzz. Polonius, upon my honor. Hamlet, then came each actor on his ass. Polonius, the best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene, indubitably, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavily, nor Plautus too light, for the law of writ and the liberty are these only men. Hamlet, O Jaeth, judge of Israel, what treasure hast thou? Polonius, what treasure hast thou my lord? Hamlet, why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well. Polonius, talking to himself, my daughter, still on my daughter. Hamlet, am I not in the right, old Jaffa? Polonius, if you call me Jaffa, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well. Hamlet, nay, that follows not. Polonius, what follows then, my lord? Hamlet, why, as by lot God wot, And then, it came past, as it most like it was, the first row of the P.S. Chanson. It will show you more, for look where my abridgment comes. Enter 4 or 5 players. You are welcome, masters, welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. Oh, my good friend, thy face valent since I saw thee last. Comest thou, beard in Denmark? What, my young lady and mistress, by our lady and lordship, is nearest to heaven when I saw you last by the aptitude of Chopin. Pray God, your voice is like a piece of uncurrented gold. Be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome. We've seen to it like French fashioners fly at anything. We'll have a speech come straight. Give us a taste of your quality, come a passionate speech. Okay. First player. What speech, my lord? Hamlet. I speak thee a speech once, but it was never acted. For it was not above all for the players I remember, please not in the million. 'Twas caviar to their general. But if it was, I was as received, and others whose judgments in matters cried in the top of mine. An excellent play which digested in the scenes I set down with such modesty and cunning. I remember one said there was no assaults in the lines to make the matter savory, nor no matter in the phrase that might indicate the author of affections, but call it an honest method, as wholesome as sweet, and by much more handsome than fire. One speech in it I chiefly loved, 'twas Aeneas's tale to Dido, and the thereabouts of whether he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it lives in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see it. So like to Prius, like a Hyrcanian beast, 'tis not so. It begins with Prius. The rugged Prius, whose sabled arms, black as his purpose, did the knight resemble when he laid couched on the ominous horse, hath now his dread and black complexion smeared with his hereditary more dismissal head to toe. Now his total glues, horrid tricked with his blood of fathers, mothers, and daughters and sons, baked and pasted with the parching streets that lend tyrannous and damned lights to their vile murders, roasted in the wrath and fire, and thus oversized with the coagulated gore, with the eyes like carbuncles, and hellish Prius, and the grandish Priam seeks. So you proceed. Polonius. For God, my lord, well spoken, a good accent, and a good discretion. First player. Anon. He finds him striking two at a great. So basically, they're performing like a scene right now. Okay, like the rest of this is gonna be like a scene, from a play. First player. Anon he finds him striking too short at Greece his antique sword, rebellious to his arm, where it fails, repugnant to his command, unequally matched. Prius at Priam strives, and rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls, and the senseless Illume seemed to feel his blow with flaming top, stoops to his base, and with a hideous thrash, takes prisoner Prius by the ear, for lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky hand of a rent Priam, though it seemed ere to stick, as the painted tyrant Prius stood. Like it neutral to his will and matter did nothing. But as we often see some storm, and a silence in the heavens, rack stands still, the boldness wind speaks, and the orb below as hushed death, and on the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So after Prius paused, aroused vengeance set him to work, and did the Cyclops hammer fell on the Mars of his armor, forged to prove etern, with less remorse than Prius' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, out, oust trumpet fortune, all you gods and the general stood, take away her power, break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, and the bull and round down the hills of the heaven, as low as to the fiends. Polonius. This is too long. Hamlet. A shout to the barber, to your beard. Say on. He's a jig for the tale of Baldry, or he sleeps. Say on. Come to Hecuba. First player. But who has seen Morbid Queen? Hamlet, the Morbid Queen. Polonius. That's good. Morbid Queen is good. First player. Run foot up and down, threatening the flames. The bison Riam, the clout upon that head, which late the diadem stood for, and for a robe about her length, and for their o'erredeemed loins as blanket on the alarm and fear caught up. Who's this has seen the tongue with venom steeps against the fortune state that treason pronounced? But if gods himself did see her then, when she saw Prius make malicious sport, immencing his sword as her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, useless things moral, moved them not at all, that would made such mitch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods. Polonius. Look whether he has not turned his color, and has tears in his eye. Pray you no more. Hamlet. 'Tis well, I have speak thee of the rest of this soon. Good, my lord, will you see the prayers well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for that they are abstracts of, and briefs of chronicles of time. After your death, they are better have a bad epitaph, and they will report while you still live. Polonius. My lord, I will use them according to their desert. Hamlet. God's bodkin, man. Better use every man after his desert. Who should scrape whipping, use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit in your bounty. Take them in. Polonius. Come, sirs. Hamlet. Follow him, friends. We have a play to hear tomorrow. Exits Polonius and players. Dost thou hear, my friend? Can you play The Murder of Gonzago? Hamlet. We'll has tomorrow night. You could need for a study of speech or 16 lines, which I set down and insert into it, could you not? First player. Aye, my lord. Hamlet. Very well, follow that lord, and you do mock him not. And look you, mock him not. The Murder of Gonzago, is gonna be, a play that, that is really, like, similar to, like, their situation right now with, like, the queen, marrying, like, someone else after, like, promising his, husband that she'll stay loyal to him, but then, like, Gonzago was, like, murdered. And then Hamlet's like, alright, I'm gonna put a few lines into it, and he's gonna make the players reenact the murder of his father. Okay? I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore. Rosencrantz. Good, my lord. Hamlet. Aye, so God. BYE. Okay, whatever. Exits Rosencrantz and Gilderstein. And he's gonna have another soliloquy. And the soliloquy is gonna be, like, the end of, Act 2, okay? Now that I am alone, oh, what a rogue and peasant slave I am. It is not monstrous as this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his own conceit, that from her workings of visage one, tears in his eyes, distractions and aspects with a broken voice, and a whole function suiting with the forms of his conceit, and all for nothing, for Hecuba! What is Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba? That he should weep for her. What would he do, had he the motive that the cure for passion that have I? He would down the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make him mad with guilty, and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very facilities of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-meadowed rascal peak, like a John of dreams, unpregnant to my cause. And say nothing, no, not for a king, upon whose property and modest life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me a villain, breaks my palate across, plucks off my beard, and blows it into my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat, as deep to the lungs? Who does me this? Who does me this? Swan, I should take it, for I cannot, but I am a pigeon-livered and lack gall. To make oppression bitter, or this, I have fatted all the region's kites for this slave's awful, of all, blood, baldy, villain, remorseful, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Oh, vengeance! What an ass I am! 'Tis This is most brave that I am the son of a dear father's murder. Prompted by my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart in words and follow a cursing like a very drab a collision. Fie upon foe about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play had the very cunning of the scene been struck to the soul, that presently have proclaimed their malfunctions. For murder, they have no tongue will speak in the miraculous organ that I have these players. Play something, like the murder of my father, before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, attend to him this quick, but if he blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil. The devil hath power to assume the pleasing shape. Yeah, and perhaps out of weakness and melancholy, that he is potent with such spirits. Abuse me to damn me. I have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, where I shall catch the conscience of the king. And that's where we'll end today. Yeah, so basically, like I said, he at the beginning of there, he was kind of like mad and just like reminiscing on like the play, but then yeah, he's gonna have the players play something to prove to see if like the ghost was like lying to him or not, which is actually like really smart. I don't think like people like, if you like know Hamlet, obviously like you know that yeah, it's about this kid who like takes revenge for his father, avenges his father because like a ghost told him to. But it's like, I don't think this scene where it's like he actually proves that the ghost was telling the truth was like very like popular, if you know. But yeah, I really wanted to read until scene 3 because I saw like the to be speech, and you know how much I love the to be speech. I could fucking do that speech with my eyes closed. You don't believe me? I've actually been wanting to do this for a while now. Okay, watch. I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna say the entire to be speech. I'll give you guys a moment to like open up the to be speech if you want. Okay, just like look up to be speech, and then click on like the first website. Okay, ready? Eyes are closed now. Okay, eyes are closed. You can see my mouth moving. All right, get ready. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arm against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep. To sleep perchance to dream, Sorry. Let me start over. Okay. Sorry, it's been a while. Okay. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the minds to suffer the... Sorry, I'm really sorry. Okay. It's been a long time, okay? I have this memorized by heart. I know how to do this. Since the camera's on, it's getting to me, okay? To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the minds to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arm against a sea of troubles, by opposing end them, to die, to sleep. To sleep is to say we end a heartache, and thousand natural shocks. The flesh is here too, 'tis a consumation devotedly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream for here's the rub, for in the sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled out this mortal coil, must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who could bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the providence consumed thee, the pains of despised love, the loss of lay, the insolence of office, and the spurns, the patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietest make, with a bare bodkin? Who would fatal spare to grunt and swear under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and thus makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly the others that we know not of? Thus consigns that make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution sickle with a pale cast of thought, and enterprise with great pith and moment, with disregard the currents turn awry and lose the name of action. I feel like I missed something. Hold on. It's to be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the minds to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take armor against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep. No more, and by sleep to say we end the heartache, and thousand natural shocks, the flesh is here too, 'tis consumation devotedly to be wished. To die, to sleep. To sleep perchance to dream I, and here's the rub, for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's to respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who could bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressors wrong, the proud man's consumed, the pains of despised love, the laws delayed, the insolence of office and the spurns, the patient mirror, the worthy takes when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would fail to spare, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and thus makes us rather bear those ills we have than the fly to others that we know not of. This consigns dumb and cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sickle over the pale cast of thought and enterprise with great pith and moment, with disregard to currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Yeah, that's what it was. Alright. Okay, hold on. It's 12 and my merch still isn't here yet. Okay. Should I recite another speech? Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays of lighted fools, away to dusty death, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets this hour upon the stage, and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fairies signifying nothing. Let me see if I can do the St. Crispin's Day speech, because that one's the longest one I know. Can I do it in less than 5 minutes? Okay, let's. What's he that wished so? My cousin Westmoreland, no, my fair cousin. If we're marked to die, we are in now, to do our country's loss, and if to live, fewer the men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yields me not if men my garments wear, such outward things dwell not in my desire. But if it be a sin to call by honor, I am the most defending soul alive. No faith, my cause, wish no man from England. God's peace I would not love so great an honor. As one man more fuck, hold on, sorry. It was, wish no man from England, God's peace I would not lose so great an honor. As one more should share from me, for the last hope I have, oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to despite. Let him depart, his passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We will not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispin. He that shall live this day and come safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named, and rouse at the name of Crispin. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors, and say, tomorrow is Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he will remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin's Crispian shall now go by. Shall near go by? From this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, but he near so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed that they were not there, and hold their manhoods cheap, while any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's Day. I also have the quality of mercy. The quality of mercy, I wonder if my eyes are closed. Good. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven. Upon the place beneath it is twice blessed. Blessed is him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest and the mightiest it becomes. Throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power. The attribute to all majesty. Wherein does sit dread peer of kings. But mercy is above the sceptered sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is a tribute to God himself. And earthly power doesn't show like his God's. When mercy seasons justice, or for Judah justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice no one should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer does teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I've spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must need give sentence against the merchant there. I've sonnet number 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's sleet hath all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often his gold complexion dimmed, and a fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose composure of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death bright thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. I have Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of this earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived within the tide of time. Woe to the hands that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I prophesy, which like dumb mouth do ope thy ruby lips. A curse, was it? A curse shall light upon the limbs of man. No, wait. No. Before that, it was like, fuck. Hold on, let me start again, okay? I know I'm missing 2 lines from this. It's, Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of this earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived within the tides of time. Woe to the hands that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouth do ope thy ruby lips. Was it to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue? I'm pretty sure it was another line, but I think it was like, to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue, a curse shall light upon the limbs of man, domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy, blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered at the hands of war. All pity, choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with ape by his side comes hot from hell, shall in these confines when the monarch's voice cry havoc and let slip dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men groaning for burial. Yeah? I think, oh jeez, I feel like I'm missing a line. Oh well, who cares? Because when I memorized it, I think I was like missing a line or two, and then I found out later that I was missing a line or two. So. I also have, oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, which, certain of his fate, loves not his wronger. But oh, what damned minute tells he over, who dotes yet doubts, suspects yet fondly loves. Yep. I think that's all I have. At some point I memorized like 200 digits of pi, but not by heart, Okay. I think that's about it. Yeah? God, my desk is dusty. Okay, I might like clean my desk after this, but yeah. Okay. I think we're good now. I will see you guys later when I decide what I should do.